Hey again, everybody. City of StarCraft here for another StarCraft 2 commentary. This particular map is going to be a 3v3 that I actually played in. Looks like, unfortunately, for this particular Zerg player, is drone grabbed the minerals from the backside. Now, unless you're in jail and you like being grabbed from the backside, or you like that in general, to each his own, it doesn't work too well in StarCraft. Grabbing minerals from the backside is very, very, very bad. Anyways. Let's get to the game at hand. We have by winning. Okay, playing as the red Zerg down here. We also have M play or N play, whatever. Blue Protoss and their last teammate up in the top left is the red Knox. Well, red Cox, I guess, because if there was Knox, there'd be an N there. Wonder if I don't know. Regardless, over here we do have Sidious playing as the purple Protoss, my color of choice. I do find the purple Protoss looks pretty fucking cool. I'm going to start using that from now on. Teammate of mine, Infested, playing as the orange Zerg, and looks like he's doing a slightly early pull. As you can see, he's down at 9 supply. Probably dropped it at 8 or 7, like he was talking about earlier. And our last teammate, 40 APM, down here in the bottom right corner, playing as the yellow Talon players. Looks like all of us are scouting out, of course. Looks like M play and B winning are both trying to scout out. A previous video, someone chatted that Protoss players are the only ones who scout. Man, that's incorrect. I think everybody, like I said, should scout. Because you don't know. You might be able to pick up something the other person doesn't, or you might be able to pick off a worker trying to build something. So, yeah, everybody scout. Anyways, it looks like production facility, the spawning pools are going down for red Cots and by winning at about the same time at 14 supply, so they're going to standard pool. But it looks like the Zerglings for the orange player up here, Infested, have been spawned and are actually moving out. Possibly moving out to the teal player, doesn't believe so. So what can the teal player do in position for this? He does have an overlord, so he does see what's going on. Infested did bring, of course, a drone over to possibly do a spine crawl, and it looks like that's exactly what's going on as well. Now it's up to Red Cox to actually do something productive here. He's got 3 workers onto the spine crawler to hopefully DPS that down. But at the same time, all ISS has to do is cancel it and remove it. Infested definitely needs to move his Zerglings away. And he does get a few kills here, but the main thing about a 6 pool or 7 pool is prevent the person you're doing to from mining. That's the main thing to do. If you get a couple worker kills, cool. But if you prevent them from mining for like 2 minutes, that's worth more than actually getting 1 or 2 worker kills than getting all your units killed in the process. It looks like during that time frame, Infested for some reason is still pumping out Zerglings. I don't really agree with this so much. He probably should just drone up because he's ahead of the other opponent that he did damage to. But if he droned up, he'd definitely be way, way, way higher. Now it looks like these Zerglings might engage each other, or maybe not, and 2 of them are going this way, trying to work off that one. But at the same time, Red Cox has actually a lot more Zerglings now, so he definitely would take these Zerglings out if they decide to engage. Looks like M-Play's putting a pylon right here, possibly, do some type of work there. And Infested said, oh, I'm okay. Reality is, no you're not, dude. That spine crawler might do okay for you. He definitely doesn't want to engage him right there. He wants to be closer to the base. The queen can actually help attack as well. I was going to go over and help out, but unfortunately I had to move my zealot back into position. We do have the stock over here to shoot over top and pick off some of those Zerglings. Looks like Red Cox is going to decide to move up here. Unfortunately I don't end up picking one off of that in that regard. Looks like 40 for the most part is turtling up a little bit, getting a couple siege tanks, getting siege mode as well. So possibly going to end up locking down this particular expansion. It does look like he is actually going for early expansion. Terran players can possibly do this if they're able to protect this. You just got to be careful. It looks like Supply Depot is down though, because the SCV is going out there to possibly build a bunker, but definitely needs to cancel that bunker because these Zerglings could easily turn around. It looks like they do turn around, and it looks like they're going to pick off the SCV, plus probably take the bunker unless it's salvaged. And unfortunately, it was not salvaged. So 40 unfortunately lost 150 supply worth of units. But overall we're still doing pretty good. 525 total units for our team lost as opposed to 650 for them. So a little bit of a difference. It looks like In-Play is putting that pylon down, so probably going to be warping in some units into the Zerg main, or maybe end up cannon rushing. I don't believe he's got a forge yet. Does not look like he does, so he's probably just going to be warping units in. Looks like 4 Zealots are being warping in there. You always, especially against Protoss players, send one of your drones around the perimeter of your base to find possible proxies, because if he found that, we could have prevented that very easily. It looks like maybe it could be a two-pronged attack. The Zerglings and Zealots, a couple stalkers as well here, coming into the main of the Zerg player infested. So they definitely need to attack all at the same time. It looks like the Zerglings are trying to go in the back door here, but that was smart for Red Tops, but not smart for Infested. He just sacrificed all those Zerglings for no reason. At the same time, Protoss player is coming in here. It looks like they can take out the Overlord here and both these Spine Crawlers. And unfortunately, he's putting the Spire down now. Yeah, that's a very good choice. I'm over here with my Stalkers as well, but I do have Blink. So you know me and my Blink macro, guys. I'm going to blink back and forth. Blink back before all the shields are down. And as you can see, I've not lost any hull damage yet. I'm going to blink. I lost a little bit of hull damage here. 3 hull damage. A little bit there as well. But for the most part, didn't lose a single unit. All due to Blink micro. And I was able to clean up their entire base. Now he does say thank you to me, but he put himself in that position. Partially because he failed on his 6 pull, or 7 pull, whatever he did. He didn't do enough damage, and like I said, he just kite him around, and then he decided to continue the attack instead of drone up. So he's definitely hurting. I'm going to decide to counter at this point, because I know we destroyed most of the Zerg player. I'm going to take out this Overlord, because that's definitely going to help us. A couple Zerglings down here. Looks like a couple drones could be transferring as well. And then I come across a lot of Overlords here, which definitely is going to help me out. Supply block Red Cox, possibly. And it looks like maybe he is. Yeah, he's supply blocked very heavily. He's even more supply blocked at this point. He possibly could even lose the Queen down. Same time I'm blink microing back and forth. And as you can see, they have enough units to come over here. So I'm going to blink down on the low ground and start working on this particular base down here. And now Infested said, spare minerals for mutas. And I'm sitting here looking at the back of myself, no dude. If you failed that attack and you're still on one base as a Zerg player, yeah, fuck you. As you can see, Blink micro in back, haven't lost a single Stalker yet. Do end up losing that one, unfortunately, but now at this point, there's so many Zerglings to surround me. Unfortunately, I'm going to end up completely getting destroyed in that regard. But I was able to take out a lot more before I was able to go down. And that also allowed me to secure my expansion. As you can see, I'm working on yet another Stalker army, so I should be okay in that regard. Now, Infested saying, I'm trying to rebuild. I'm trying to rebuild. Well, you shouldn't have put yourself in this position in the first place. I keep thinking in the back of my mind, great. I got Infested who fucking doesn't know how to play Zerg at all. For the most part, 40 is sitting back and macroing up. So basically, for the most part, I'm sitting here trying to take them all on by myself. So at this point, I do have to tech switch. So I decided to get my robo facility. I'm going to get some Colossus and try to tech switch up and do better in that regard. Does look like In-Play finally did get some Blink Stalkers himself. So you might see some epic Blink action here. And now, this is pathetic. Infested has 4 Mutalisks. That's it. He has 4 Mutalisks. So yeah, about all he can do is maybe a little worker harassment, or maybe kill some Overlords or something. Really not much in that regard. And still, this pylon is going unchecked. At this point, if you were paying attention to your base and saw Zealots coming from this location, you have got to know that there's a pylon over there. Unfortunately, I do have to come back and try to save him, because he feels the urge to not use his Mutalisks here to attack. Until just that point, but it's a little too late. He probably could have killed it all. But the Queen should survive. There's enough of my Stalker support here to help assist. Same time, there's a couple of Zerglings down here, possibly to prevent any type of expansion maybe going down here, and then whatnot. Now, Infested does bring his Mutalisks over here, and thankfully for 40 having his units here, was able to destroy that pylon. But if you think about it, these Mutalisks, they were going right here. I mean, he ran over top of the supply depot, or the pylon, and still didn't attack it for some reason. I don't understand. This guy's an idiot. Welcome to YouTube, by the way, kid. Anyways, I'm going to start moving out right now. I'm not really trying to do too much of an attack here. I'm just trying to poke around, see what I might be going up against. And I see there's a lot of hydralisks here, so I definitely need a lot more, of course, Colossus. I do concave around to block a lot of the units right there. I'm going to try to force them back into the siege line of 40. Again, I'm not trying to commit too much of an attack here. I am losing a lot of resources. You'll find that, for the most part, I lose more resources than anybody else. But I get more than anybody else as well. Harvester count, I'm at 48 as opposed to the Zerg player 47. But I constantly expand, constantly keep building my units. As you can see, I'm only down to about 300 minerals worth of units. Working on some Immortals, going to get some Colossus here in the not too distant future. And go forward in that regard. Now it appears, of course, that In-Play does have an expansion up and going. Of course, Bi-Wing does, and Red Cots. So everybody's got an expansion. Of course, block that off so that he doesn't get up in there. And at this point, I really don't care about the Zerg player. He's an idiot. So I do help him out, but I'm not really caring if he gets everything killed or not. Working on my double expansions at the same time. Looks like 40 is trying to make some type of contain right here. Now I do like the placement of these units, but for the most part that's all he needs to do at the moment. Until I'm able to get an army up, or until the Zerg player is able to do something useful, keeping these units here will help, keeping them contained. I would probably suggest putting a siege tank up here, maybe one more right there, but not engaging this army that's up here, but just keeping them contained so they feel that they can't move out. These are, of course, all these burrowed banelings. And I would not actually suggest moving out now because there are a lot of banelings coming out, but might be able to get some splash damage on there. Keep in mind there is blink on these stalkers, so they might be able to do some damage in that regard. And it looks like 40 is rallying a lot more units out and banking on a lot of resources, so probably could drop actually 2 or 3 more factories. I would like him to actually see them do that so we can have more in that regard. Fungal growth goes down on these Marines. Great fungal growth, and as you can see, they all got melted away by those banelings. And now there's just a handful of Marines left. This is why you don't really need to move out. You just need to contain at this point. Until I'm able to help out and end up doing more in that regard. Great fungal growth by Red Cots and an even greater baneling attack at that point. Now it looks like there is a Nidus Swarm coming down. And it looks like it's right here. Now guys, pay attention to your bases. Yeah. That was right next to the building, right next to the mineral line. You can see it on the mini-map. You gotta watch for this, guys. You gotta watch for this. That could have easily been destroyed by like 2 or 3 Marines by the time it popped. And now, for the most part, looks like 40's base can be destroyed. So, this guy's an idiot, has no resources. 40, unfortunately, is doing the best he can, but at this point, now they just move forward and break the contain. I don't know why he blinked away from it. He could have just completely destroyed what was left there. So I'm sitting here like, okay, it's really up to me. So I secure the high yield expansion, got my pylon up here. I'm like, okay, I gotta do some type of attack. I cannot let them sit back and do nothing. I do get these Zerglings completely destroyed.